What a great way to start this show out. Lacy McDonald in studio. Sydney will be joining us later because, she's busy today too, so we had to tape early. And as you guys will see later, we both are not morning people.
I saw part of it and I thought it was wonderful.
You know what I hate is when I don't like do my hair the right way. I just kind of put it back and spray it. It always, my headphones make it look like I have this Johnny Bravo thing going on. And it's amazing. It's every morning. It's amazing. But at 9:03, good morning. Happy Wednesday to all of you. It's going to be a great day. 71 degrees. We'll do news later on in the show. But the top of the hour belongs to Lacy. And then we'll be talking to Donald McCaster, who's running for county board in a couple of minutes. And then Sydney at 10:30. So that's who's coming down the show. All right, my job's done. Lacy, what'd you write about?
Whoa, all right.
Right into it.
I wrote about...
Oh, and good morning.
Good morning. I wrote about... Okay, so 100 years ago, the Elm Street Presbyterian Church was hiring a new minister, and they found the right person. His name was John Guilford Reynolds, and he and his wife had lived in Madison County for a number of years, but were currently living in Toledo, Ohio. And so they asked him to come be the minister at Elm Street Presbyterian, and he agreed, but wanted to remain in Toledo. So this was late October, obviously. Wanted to remain in Toledo until after the election. They had a presidential and everything else election happening 100 years ago as well, because he and his family wished to do their duty as a citizen and cast their ballot.
Oh,
so,
that's cool.
So they stayed in Toledo until right after the election and then moved the week after that. So he and his wife both were able to cast their ballots.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So Elm Street Presbyterian was how long has it been established before then?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm not sure. I know they had been around for quite some time in 1924, but I don't know how long. And then they just closed their doors a couple years ago. So they were around for, I think, 100 years before they did close. But that's a good question.
Very interesting. Well, and now the 1924 presidential election was Calvin Coolidge, and who was he running against?
I don't know.
Because Calvin Coolidge was like one of the calmest guys ever. Like wasn't the famous line, can you say 3 words to me so I can win this bet? And he said, "You lose," and walked away. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I got to see this. All right, so Alton at the time, what was the political landscape?
That's a good question, CJ. I was specifically looking at the time period. So one of the things I thought was most interesting is that since it was 1924, it had only been 4 years since the 19th Amendment was ratified. So part of the reason, John and his wife Nina, if they'd left Toledo, they wouldn't have been able to register in Illinois. So they not just that they wanted to vote in Toledo, but they wanted to be able to vote in the election.
Oh, okay.
And Nina was in her 60s at the time. They both were. But this was only going to be the second presidential election she would be able to vote in because women hadn't been able to vote until 1920. So not only was it important to them, and this is a little bit of conjecture, but he talked about his whole family being able to vote. So I think not only was it important to him to vote, but it was important to her because this was only the second election that she'd ever been able to be a part of. Yeah.
That is really interesting.
Yeah. So I don't remember who Coolidge was running against.
It was John Davis.
John Davis. Okay. I knew it was sort of a generic name.
I like the stamp.
I am obsessed with,
The fan is really unique.
Yes.
It was always, election memorabilia and campaign memorabilia is so cool. Fascinating from really especially like the 50s and so like I like Ike and, I don't like Ike. Those things are like amazing. Now, whenever it came to churches back in 1924.
Wait, we got to tell people about what the campaign slogan was.
Oh, no, what was it?
It was "Keep Coolidge," because it was Coolidge, and he was running for re-election. And so this stamp sticker thing that I put in the article is a fan saying "Keep Coolidge." I just thought that was very clever.
See, I thought honestly, I honestly thought that was just one of like their slogans. Like it wasn't the That's interesting.
I think they had several.
But that's a good one though. That's the one you keep. Yeah, that is the one you keep. Now, churches at the time though.
Okay.
Were these pretty big deals when a new pastor came in, because like now you see like articles about it, and it's still a big deal to that congregation, but it seems like this was kind of one that people talked about the next day.
Oh yeah, and I mean, even past that, like there were articles in the newspaper about, you know, a reception that they had for him and his family, and when they came, and every week in the newspaper, and this is something that I don't know when this changed, but every week in the newspaper, a lot of churches would put, you know, who was going to be preaching and what the topic was of the sermon and any special things that were going on. So I put a little excerpt from the newspaper the week that Reverend Reynolds started preaching that had, it says, the new pastor, Reverend J.G. Reynolds, is very pleasantly located at 231 West Elm Street. He's anxious to be of service to this community and will be subject to call at any time. So once they moved, you know, there was information about how he was going to be preaching, or what he was going to be preaching on every week, but there was also information about the Sunday schools and stuff like that. And that was for all the churches. So yeah, it was something that the whole community would be interested in knowing about.
That's really fascinating because, you know, first, the church is located, there's another church in there currently.
Right.
I always, always seems very busy too. It's a very active church, and they do a lot. They do a lot out, like they do events and things. I've noticed. I can't remember the name of the church though.
Either.
But it's really an iconic building. So it's in. Do you know when Elm Street Presbyterian pulled away from that church whenever they stopped service?
Well, yeah, their numbers dwindled.
Okay.
And so it's been in the last, I want to say 5 years or so. And so the members of Elm Street, I mean, they closed the church, and the members of Elm Street went to other Presbyterian churches in the area.
I always hate to see that, though, because it seems like it was such a really vibrant place, too.
Yes, it really meant a lot to the people that went there and grew up there. And it was very vibrant for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, just, I mean, we've talked about this before. That's kind of been something that's happened with a lot of different religious institutions. So
it's always sad. Hey, we'll do this 9:09. We'll take a break and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about this because we gotta turn this fan off because, quite frankly, it's making my eyes water. And Calvin Coolidge is not running for president.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cronuts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit VillageDispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Happy Halloween from RiverBender.com. Now back to our daily show.
And my eyes beheld an eerie sight, for my monster from his slab began
Halloween
to rise.
music to the next couple of days.
Good.
All last week too.
I love Halloween music.
It's very. Everyone always talks about Christmas music, and I'll be honest with you guys. You can call me a sociopath all you want, but I do turn on Christmas music November 1st. That I'm like in my zone in 2 days.
I feel like people should get to listen to the music they want to listen to without judgment.
You know, I don't think that that's how. You know, if I was on a first date though, and I started playing Andy Williams, you know, in the middle of October, I feel like I wouldn't get a call back.
Well, I feel like it depends on the context. Like, are you like out at a restaurant and you demand Christmas music? Like if you just have it on in your car, that's fine.
No, like, could you imagine though, like some. Can you please turn on the. Ma'am, here's my eating CD. It's all oh, shit. Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. I hit the wrong button. But it's just like it's just amazing. Like, could you imagine though? Like, you're on a date with somebody, or you know, you're sitting there and he just like turns the radio on, and it's just like Andy Williams in October.
I feel like it would just totally depend on the context. Like, is that everything?
Yes.
Like, is it only Christmas?
Only Christmas.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
For 2 months.
2 months.
That's a lot. They just don't. I mean, there's a lot of Christmas music out there, but like, is there enough turnover for you to get to listen to?
Hear me out.
things?
Here is my
right.
explanation for all this, and the folks at home that are going, Jesus, what happened to CJ in this show? It's because it takes me a while. I'm like a Mack truck. Okay, it takes me like 30 days to warm up.
Okay,
it doesn't. I can't get into Christmas season 2 weeks before Christmas.
Okay,
I tried it. Does not work for me. So I got to get into it early.
Okay.
Because I have to fake it till I make it for about 30. There's a marinating period.
Got it.
And then December 1st is normally when it's like, all right, now I'm ready for Christmas.
But do you have to have like such an intense marinade?
Yes.
Okay, so you can't just have like an hour a day of Christmas music.
No, it's got to be nonstop.
Gingerbread cookies, just nonstop.
Like Clockwork Orange-esque style Christmas music.
Is that better than just never getting in the spirit?
Yes, oh, totally. Because, you know, like, I always feel like I got to be the one to bring joy and cheer, you know?
I could see that, because you do bring joy and cheer.
I would, that's dependent on the situation and day. But, it's just, I don't know, one of those things I was thinking about lately.
Christmas music?
Yeah. So welcome back to our daily show at 9:14 after a little bit of a left turn. Back to the church.
Okay, so we did some research during the break, and Elm Street Presbyterian opened in 1919 and then closed in 2018. So it was a church in Alton for 99 years.
Man, now that's even more sad. I thought we weren't going to get... because I'm not being funny. Like, you always want to see that centennial mark. Because it seems like when a church hits that, they get a jolt. Like, it just seems like, from what I've seen, like that 100-year mark, there's always a couple of pickups in attendance. And
at least for that day.
Yeah. Oh, well, but they all went to different churches locally?
All went to different churches locally, and the records of the church went to the presbytery, and we have some things at the library, too.
So if people are interested to learn more about if they went to the church and all that, can they get that? That's, that's interesting.
Yes,
that's very good.
Absolutely, yes. So some of that stayed with us, but mostly like... directories, that kind of thing. And then the official records of the church, a lot of them went to the presbytery. So if people were interested in that, I think it's the Giddings Lovejoy Presbytery is the local one. And then there's like a national presbytery, like where they have archives and stuff too. So you could follow them to wherever the records went.
Very interesting. Okay, now tomorrow is Halloween.
Tomorrow's Halloween.
It is the national... now, I will say this. There is an event that is starting to merit the day after Halloween and the day after, or the day before Thanksgiving, when I talk population in downtown. the pup crawl. I am telling you what, I have never seen more people in my life. And it's just amazing how many folks go on the pup crawl. So it's one of those top 3, but Halloween is definitely still number 1 in Alton. And there's some history to the parade.
There's some history to the parade, yes. So a lot of people know that the parade has been going on for 107 years.
I said 125 and got blasted. Steve very quickly corrected me, and so did Greg, but the audience did not forgive. I got a lot of text.
Yeah. Well, at least you were giving them more credit. You were giving it even more. So the parade began in 1916.
Okay.
And I'd always known, the parade began however many years ago, generally more than 100. Right. But I didn't know why. I just assumed that it was for Halloween. And it was. But the East End Improvement Association has always done the parade from the very, very beginning. But the origin of the original 1916 parade was to celebrate that Broadway had been paved between Henry Street and Cherry Street.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
Is this confirmed?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, this is awesome. Okay, so
yeah. So the article that's coming out tomorrow is going to talk about this.
History repeats itself.
It's crazy.
I bet we do that today.
You know what, CJ? I can't tell you how many times I'm just trying to write a history article and it goes back to streets.
That is amazing.
I'm just a street historian at this point. But yeah, it had been long delayed. Things kept happening. They couldn't get workers. It got too hot. It was very difficult.
Well, I'm sure it was back then because it's not like they have the equipment of
no.
That's seriously a big deal.
Right. Yeah. It's a huge deal. And so finally, after months and months, it was going to be open. There was an article that said it would be open by November 1st. And the Easton Improvement Association, a lot of the people that were part of it had businesses down here. So it was really, really important for them for it to open. Mm-hmm. And so on October 31st, 1916, the Broadway between Henry and Cherry was open as a paved street for the first time.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
That is why the first parade happened. I mean, they planned it in advance. It wasn't like that day. They were like, we'll just do something.
Yeah.
But they planned it in advance. And so the city made sure that the street was officially open that day.
So was it designated as a Halloween parade?
It was a Halloween parade.
Okay.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Alton, and that's what
I was trying to figure out. That's interesting.
Alton's really always been into Halloween. So I love that there's this very weird origin story that I never guessed, but that they were taking advantage of the point that Alton already loved Halloween. So there had been all these parties everywhere. The Halloween parade originally led to Turner Hall, and there was a big dance at the end.
Really?
So yeah. So that was
everyone doing their Stevie Nicks and Halloween? Because that's what I did.
They might have been.
That'd be cool.
I don't know what they were doing. And it was led by a band, the White Hussar Band.
This is so fascinating, actually. But you know what? It's like we look back at those things, and I do, and I go, man, that's a really classy, kind of a really upscale type of event, because you think about it, like today, if we had this big dance, and people would be in tuxedos, and it'd be But honestly, that was just probably just a run of the, well,
they weren't in tuxedos; they were all in costumes.
But we would be today, probably. We would consider that a bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You get my point here?
Yeah, they just would have a dance.
Yeah.
They would just have it, constantly have dances. Whereas now, if we had a dance, we would all be like, it is a dance.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It is formal.
Okay, it took me a while to get there, but I'm glad that you, you Sherlock Holmes what I was fishing
Figured
for
it
there.
out.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, was Halloween trick-or-treating? We were talking about that last week. When did the Boy Scouts start using the term trick? Was that 1916 too? What trick-or-treating? Yeah. We were talking about this last week.
That they started trick-or-treating?
Yeah, it was we mentioned it. It was 1920 something in Alton, whenever we were talking about when Halloween got popular.
I don't know, because a lot of what I found in the time period I was looking at, so I was mostly looking in 1916 and 1924, there were a lot of Halloween parties. So people would have individual parties at their house.
Okay.
And then with huge groups of people. I mean, it would be someone's house and 50 people came to the party. And then it would talk about kids coming through to get candy. But I don't know if it was the house by house trick-or-treating like we do now.
1927 is when
1927.
they're credited
Okay.
to. I just pulled it up because I have a Halloween by the numbers thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's very interesting. Wallet Hub does a really good job with this, and we're going to talk about it more later. 67% of Americans say they'd consider purchasing a haunted house to live in.
Yeah, I would want more. I wouldn't want to say yes or no to that. I would want more details before I decided if I would live in it or not.
When you're writing this article,
Yes.
what do you kind of look at? Going back to the Reverend Reynolds.
Oh, sure.
Was there, any information? Did he stay in Alton long or
Oh, yeah. So right, like I said, he and his wife had both been here originally.
Right.
And they were both teachers. And he was also the principal of a school in Godfrey at one point before he became a minister. And so they were here for 10 years after they came back. And then he died in 1934, which was a year and a half after he and his wife had celebrated their golden wedding anniversary. So there was a big article about their golden wedding anniversary. And then she died in 1947, also here, and then they're both buried in Godfrey Cemetery.
Wow, very fascinating.
Yeah.
Now, what are you excited about the most for your Halloween article?
Oh, I think that the street origin thing was really fun.
Yeah, that is very fascinating.
Yeah,
that is super cool.
Yeah, I also just really loved when they were talking about the pranks that had been played.
But those pranks seemed mean. Like the ones that I hear about or read about from 1924, 1930, they're kind of mean.
Oh, I don't like them.
No, I get it. Yeah, no, I'm not saying you do. It's just amazing though. Things that we do is apples compared to some of the pranking that was going on back in the day.
Yeah, it was because I think people think of the of 100 years ago as being sort of gentle and everybody was nice. No, people were horrible
It's
sometimes.
amazing. It's I'm if that happened today, because I was reading some, it wasn't all, but it was just my God, if that happened today, it'd be on the national news for months.
Well, and there was, in 1924, I'll still have plenty to talk about next week.
Tons,
but
yeah.
In 1924, there was, for several days, an article in the newspaper from the chief of police warning people to not do illegal stuff.
Oh, my God.
And then there was this great article on November 1st that talked about how they actually had a relatively mischiefless night. Probably thanks in part to Easton Improvement Association throwing all this stuff that distracted
That's true.
people from doing stuff that they shouldn't have been doing.
That's awesome.
So that was really cool. It was this wholesome distraction. I
thought Purge was just an idea. That was the original Halloween
Well, there
night.
was nothing horrific that I read about. I will say this, nothing that was bad that I read about. But there was one really funny quote where the person who was writing it was talking about how kids just didn't want to do hard work anymore to gather up scrap metal to put in front of shops as a prank. So I was not sure if it was a compliment or a complaint. They just had to throw that jab.
It wasn't TPing back in the day. It was scrap metal shopping.
They would gather scrap metal and just put it against people's doors so they couldn't get into their shops in the morning.
You just got scrapped.
Right.
Lacey, thanks for stopping by. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Me too.
And next week we're talking Halloween.
Halloween again.
There we go. 9:25, a little bit of change on this Halloween Eve. We'll come back with more Daily Show after this one.